The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As we get started, get a tab and a pen. If you haven't been here before, we had to load up a lot of people today. It's great. But the bottom line is we got to get you to the rules and tools and the steps to follow through. My name is Ray. Last name is Reynolds. Write it down, please. They gave me the nickname The Godfather credit years ago. I think I did about 5.4 billion for clients so far. So the reality is, as long as you follow the rules and tools, we can get you there too. Now, the bottom line is tab and pen so we can begin. It's always live 6 days a week. Now, there's no pictures, there's no recording. All right, if you do, you're in trouble because I want you to put it here. It's only $500,000 fine, and then you go to prison for 5 years. So the bottom line is, let's focus on this and not try to be a copycat. That doesn't make sense. So the bottom line is the goodies I obtained. I like goodies, don't you? So I didn't like eating out of a trash can, being used and abused as a kid. I kind of think it sucked. So what did I do? I worked my tail off every single day to get past go. Now, so the bottom line is I got to my first 100,000 at 9.5, a million at 14, 2.6 billion at 26 corporate structure. While I was being used and abused, I paid attention to all those rich and famous people. So look behind the curtain, what you get to do for you. Ultimate goal, money for a rainy day. It's pretty simple. The money for the rainy day, all it basically meant blah, blah, blah until I came up with a solution. So I was going to think about one thing for all of you. All your cards should say the limit, 25% maintain, and never pass 29%. That'll give you the line of defense. So we should always have about $100,000 of credit, the ultimate goal. That way we get basically only use 29% at the most. And what do we get to do? Simple, have safety credit. See, life's a roller coaster of favor and kind of persistence too. So just be careful you don't get out of that balance, because if we get our line of defense, that means we can become a certified CFO. Ultimate goal, line of defense for every one of us. Then they said, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Well, that didn't make any sense until I came up with solutions for them. You see, I created something called division process in 85 and 86. That means a corporation having divisions get a second chance, and you never bring the pain home in the first place. Kind of like the banks and the grocery stores in the cities do. So the ultimate goal, I created that in 85 and 86. Then they said, don't put, they said, put all your ducks in a row. See, when you put all your ducks in a row, to me, that means you go get the $1 million corporation. And if one screws up, you get rid of the piece, you just go get another piece. The bottom line at the end of the day, it's never to bring the pain home. That's the ultimate goal for every one of us. So let's think about this today. Here's the biggest problem that most people do. And I'll say everybody on the planet, even you. So what do we get to look at? Is very simple today. On one hand, we look at the SSN Social Security number. People got credit cards in the mails in the 70s and 80s. They never used their SSN, and a bunch of dummies started to do that, and everybody followed like sheep. You see, your SSN is for your 1040 tax return. That's all it's for. You only get one. That means you only get one chance to dance. That's no fun. So we look at we the people. Now, what does that mean? Every dollar we bring in is we the people, tax, and probate. When we die, well, that kind of sucks. So that's Social Security numbers for the 1040 tax return. On the other hand, we have to look at what we're allowed to do. And what we've got to understand is the SS4, it's a tax ID. All right, that allows an entity, a corporation, a division, or even you to get a tax ID and build credit too. So as we look at this, we got to break it down a little bit more. Let's understand that form in front of you is called an SS4, which all of you should go get one of those copies today. You can download from irs.gov. Line 1 says the legal name of entity. Okay, that's a corporation, division, subsidiary. It's like the bank and the grocery store in the city. Every branch they have is a branch number. When they make a decision to shut it down or they screwed up, they get to bankrupt it, and then they get to get a tax credit. What most consumers do is they go home and go boo-hoo-hoo. But you could have put your name on line number 1. So let's think about something today. Let's break it down with knowledge, rules, and tools. The SSN equals 1040 tax return. That's all it's for. The SS4 is for an 1120 tax return, and then it's a tax ID. So that gives us a second chance to try. By the way, you never had to jack up your credit and bring the pain home in the first place. Unfortunately, you didn't pay attention, and you tend to follow like sheep. So let's look at the United States of America Incorporated. They set up 50 corporations called states. States set up corporations called cities. So what did they do? They did what I'm trying to get you to do. Plan the problem. And what happens next is pretty simple. They get to bankrupt divisions. Oh, I'm sorry, they're called cities. They're actually corporations. So when they bankrupt a piece, and you've had 11 of them so far called cities, like Orange County, they get the right to get rid of the debt and stay in business and write it all off. See, you had the same right, but you didn't pay attention. Unfortunately, but now you can. It's called We the People. But we have to look at basically the Supreme Court. It says a corporation is a legal person. So the bottom line is never to bring the pain home. So I'm hoping your ducks in a row. Can you put both hands like this for a minute, please? We're going to basically understand. I break it down to basics. So the SSN is tax, probate when we die. Okay. The next thing is from there is the SS4. But we have a problem. We can only get one SSN, but we can get an SS4 for every entity, like the banks and the grocery stores and cities do. So we can actually pay attention, rebuild our lives, and make sure we put all ducks in a row. And why I invented divisions are very simple. I didn't want to bring the pain home like you. I think that kind of sucks. Plus, I wanted a second chance in case I screwed up too. So understand today, everybody should have 1 to 9 divisions of themselves. Here's my dashboard. I'm an affiliate for 39 years now. Literally for 39 years, I'm an affiliate to 119 creditors. And I only say 10 are worth a darn. The rest are a bunch of crap as far as I'm concerned. But let's understand my dashboard. On my dashboard, I get to register. Let's see on the bottom. It says I can basically provide SSN or SS4. And then it says I can request on the behalf of a person, a corporation, or a division. And then what a tax ID is entitled to is a credit report. And that would be the ultimate goal. So the goal is to understand something today. Write down division of me. You see, what happens is you got more chances to try under the SS4. But again, unfortunately, what you did is you follow like sheep, sorry to say. So let's understand the division of me. If I sign for the Lamborghini, that means my SSN. If I lose the car, I get a 1099-C and the IRS beats me up on a tax problem. Now, if the corporation gets the car and we screw up the corporation or me, we're both screwed up both ways too. We're both ducks. Now, if we do it my way, the car is a division of the corporation. Instead of you sign it as an SSN, you would sign it as an SS4 division of you. That way, if anything's screwed up, you get rid of the division of you in the car, but you protect the corp and you protect you and your family. Unfortunately, none of you did it right. Sorry, just true. You signed the lease on the building. When you sign the lease on the building from the corporation and the corporation screws up, all right, it comes after you. See, we have a problem. It's called the Secretary of State. Everyone can look at every corporation, Secretary of State, and see who's on that corporation. So that makes us duck and cheaps. So the reality is they sue the corp, they'd sue that person and find the person and serve them too. But if we do this correctly, divisions are private. They're not in everybody's face. But again, you got to learn how to play. The bottom line is like that car, that house. What are you going to do? I'd like you to think about a division of you. It's like receiving money. If you get your money in your SSN in your job, that's okay. All right. Hopefully, you're going to break even with your house payment. Well, the other thing, anything above break even should go to the SS4 because they don't pay tax, so they're profitable. And that's the ultimate goal. So if we do this correctly, we can even take a card like I did Dennis here and Daryl here, and I got them all golds and platinums last week, and about 20 other people too. We can basically ask for more cards based on divisions if they're set up correctly. That allows us the daisy chain credit. So I want you to focus today, and I want you to think about something. Okay, who's going to guarantee the house or the card? Has to be a CFO. But that CFO could be you, SSN, or that CFO could be a division of you through the SS4. Again, you got to make a decision here. So the car, the house, the franchise. You see why each entity and everything you try to do should have two divisions. One, the name goes into the entity, but someone has to sign on the behalf of it. I know you think somebody in the back room of Bank of America is signing some shit. That's stupid. You see, corporations get the guarantee credit. And every branch they have is a branch number. And if they don't like it or want to shut it down, they bankrupt the crap out of it and they write up on their taxes. They get a tax credit for their screw ups. You just go home and go boo hoo hoo. That has to stop today. So you're probably going to think about two divisions, one to have the business and one to guarantee it. But that's up to you as you do this today too. All right. Yes, Wanda, what do you have? You have a question? Wow, that's a big question. But Wanda, this is an overview for new people to get involved in the program. You're going to be asking a technical question and you have to go to class. And that's exactly what you got to do. All right, instant course, she recommended her to take care of available. She claims she doesn't understand the way I have explained. Okay. All right, well, we'll break that down for you, and we'll see how that breaks down, and Santos can get hold of you. You got Santos on the phone. Now, you get that gold card today. Remember what I asked you to do is pay that balance for your 6 months program. All right, because that's the ultimate goal, because that card's unlimited. Now, as we understand today, it's very simple today. What I want you to think about, all of you, the rest of you, it's very simple. You're not going to be a duck if something goes wrong. Problem we have is everybody getting into a program, all right, they have to duck when something screws up. I don't want to be a duck. So the ultimate goal is very simple. Here's a corporation, and let's remember, major corporations do not do business. They own companies. So I'm going to tell you flat out, your parent company, if you have a corp or get a corporation, should not do business. It should manage entities. What does that do for you? That gives you ducks in a row. That means basically, if one of the divisions screws up, we could have bankrupt a piece under the Federal Protection Act if something went wrong, as the banks and grocery stores and cities do, but never have the intent to do fraud. That would be the ultimate goal. So when we get a card like 100,000, all right, and we want 9 more, we can multiply that into $1 million. And that's the ultimate goal. So that's only 1 out of the 10 cards we're going to get per entity. So we can literally have every division become a millionaire corporation. But again, it's up to you. The ultimate goal is not to bring the pain home. So understand today, it's like today. We look at this $100 million building across from South Coast Plaza Mall, the $1 million Lamborghini, the $5 million mansion, or the Ray Reynolds University, and the race boat. They all have that in common because those are things we obtained through the corporate structure. And your 750 is waiting for you too. But again, getting that first 100,000 is kind of a pain in the ass have because we got to get you to follow the rules and tools and understand how to work the program. And when you screw it up and you jack it up, and apply, and keep crashing Rapparees score, look in the mirror and say, I'm stupid. Because that's what some people do. The bottom line is you have to be responsible for you. So if you let me add you to my credit system, it's pretty simple. What this allows us to do is I'm the one who basically set up and trained Ken Yarborough, security chief at Tier Debbie and Asperian. No problem for that too. So the bottom line, we add you to a credit system, and then we teach you how to get the American dream. We analyze your credit and all the ultimate goal, and then we tell you exactly what you need to do to help us get to the 750 score, like Wanda got here. Ultimate goal, 750, about 90 working days. But if you keep screwing up and doing push me, pull me, it's not going to happen. So Asperian, Equifax, and TransUnion. So we got to make sure you understand how to play. Now, here's my schedule, 6 days a week, online. And when you got technical questions, when you're a client, you go to class, not the free overview for the other 900 people that are getting it today. Ultimate goes pretty simple. So it's called repackaging you. I've done this for 45 years in person or online. The ultimate goals, we have to do 1,000 steps to get to millionaire. It's that many steps, believe it or not. And we have to become a certified CFO. We don't just give ourselves a title. We have to learn the rules and tools behind it. So the Ray Reynolds University legacy is about $100 million. No, it's about 10 billion. Ultimate goal. Now, what I wanted to do years ago, when I got to the point of 2.6 billion through corporate structure, I wanted to do everything for free. Nobody wanted to play with me. So the reality is, as my wife calls this, my hobby, I donate myself to 6 days a week to help people who want to get to the million. That's kind of fun. So the ultimate goal is simple today. Whatever program you get into, don't be surprised I give you 100% back your money or up to times 10. And that's usually up to times 10 to personal business credit, because that way you don't have any excuses. So let's remember, we draw that diagram. Go ahead and draw it now. Corporation, division. I'm going to tell you again and again, your corporation should never do business. It should manage entities. You see, I'm sorry, but there's something going to go wrong on one of the divisions. It always does. But if we do it with the right intent, not to do fraud, and we want to disconnect and isolate a division because we have to, like Bank of America, Chase, and all the cities and the grocery stores do too, then we can give them a piece. The goal is basically see what's out there, what they're doing, and how they do it too. That's what I've been tearing apart since I was a little kid, looking behind the curtain. Doesn't even matter if it's basically Sam's Club, Geico, or cities. So our first goal for us is very simple, is to stop bringing the pain home. Number 2 is to become a certified CFO, literally. And then we can build up to the $1 million dream. That's the ultimate goal. It's my blueprint, and I call it see it, believe it, go get it, because that's exactly what I've done all my life. So the ultimate goal. So again, we got to compare. We have the 14th Amendment of the Constitution. Corporation's a legal person. We have we the people. So as we compare the two, we need to figure out if we want to give ourselves a second chance. SSN, tax on everything we bring in, and on top of that, probate when we die. The corporation gets a SS4, so that means we get one per entity, and the reality is that's the ultimate goal. Rich and famous people, banks and grocery stores use the SS4 more than the SSN, but it's up to you. As we do this, it's very simple this week. Your first quarter is ending at the end of March. March, June, September, December. So the ultimate goal, we basically have a little bit of a countdown. But the ultimate thing is understand, we only have days left, so we got to work every day. We got to have no downtime. We got to work it. So as we build this ultimate goal, the biggest problem people have usually is they're afraid to try. All right, then they hold themselves back, and the biggest problem they have is themselves. They don't think they can do this. It's not easy. You're going to have to work your tail off. So understand, you need to believe in you. Now I'd like to repackage every one of you. Ultimate goal, again, that structure. You're going to build the right one, I hope, if you listen to me. Corporation does not do business. It manages entities. What does that do for us? It lets us basically kind of plan the problem. We get to stop bringing the pain home, and we get to put our ducks in a row. And I get to repackage you under the corporate umbrella. That's the ultimate goal. So it's like being the incorporator for rich and famous people. All right, homeless people, people coming out of prison. Not a problem. I've done that for 45 years. What most people do when they start a business, they sit around the kitchen table with their friends and family, and then they talk about the business and get all excited. And then the next thing is where we're going to get the money. Usually what they do is they hawk their house and jack up their cards. These are rules and tools that I set up 45 years ago, and I need you to pay attention because that's how I got over 27 millionaire corps and 27 billionaires now. Every card in your personal wallet needs a sticky. You put the limit, you maintain 25% always, you never go past 29%. Because if you do, you drop your score, you get stuck, you can't get any more. So let's understand the rules and tools how to play. Ultimate goal, write down today's date, project 90 working days. So that way we keep chasing the goal and basically chasing and going to accomplish the goal, the dream. We might have to readjust the date, but that's okay, as long as we're moving forward. So I wrote Winning the Game of Business 45 years ago. The 12 books and CDs we sold at the Bonaventure for $5,000 a set for 32 years. It gives you the full blueprint from A to Z. Real estate, you're getting millions and millions in real estate to that too, through my credit system. Become the banker buckets of money. That's a system I did too. So all 18 books and CDs cost you $999 today. Or if you invest $1,000 while you're online with me only, then I will personally give you the books for free. Ultimate goal. See, when you start a business, you don't know if you're falling off the cliff. They're going to catch you. They might even push you down. And be careful because you have to plan for the problem. My journey was not so easy. I got born in a taxi on the way to Gardena Hospital. All right, I got to be with Mrs. Hope because my mother didn't want me. From there, your journey can begin today, but we take away all your excuses. You got to be responsible for your own actions too. Ultimate goal, every morning I'm up at 2:25 on my knees thanking Jesus for another day. Then I go look in the mirror. I've been looking in the mirror since I was a little kid because I wanted off the pier. I didn't want to eat out of a trash can all my life and be used and abused. And I ask myself every day, have I completed everything I need to? Is there more to be done? Ultimate goal. So from here, let's understand something very simple today. Okay? I want you to quit listening to your friends and family because they usually cloud your direction. Why don't you listen to someone who actually has done the work and brought in the millions and billions structure? Maybe me, since I'm the #1 consultant worldwide for 33 years in a row. July 4th, 2009. World's going great. I got my 3 yachts in my backyard. I'm at the Bonaventure all the time too. I'm helping everybody I can, and my wife says, let's take out one of the yachts. This small group of people. Okay, no problem. Next day, I got H1N1 and I got to die. Well, that kind of sucks. My tax attorney tricked my wife to sign a POA. The nurse asked my wife if I was a donor. They're going to rip them hard, take it away. The bottom line for here is very simple. All right, Jesus gave me a choice to stay in peace or go back. I said go back. So let's get past this. Moving 24 times by the time I'm 11 and a half years old, going to school in Watts, Torrance, Hawthorne, Carson, all these great areas, simple. You had to learn to kick it or run. I'd rather die than run. Simple for me. So I've been in the martial arts since I was 4. I've been shot twice. I've been knifed 6 times, and I'm still here to help you. See, there's no excuses. The only excuse is maybe you're lazy, because the reality is we can see it, believe it, go get it. Up to you. My book coming out this year is Jesus is not a drive-through. All right, because being a Christian's a way of life, not a moment in time. The ability. So let's show you some goodies today, because I want you to understand you can get the goodies too. All right, how many divisions of you do you need? Well, let's go to that and exactly what needs to be done. We'll go into that question when I break down the division process as well. So that's not a problem. Because let's understand, the Lamborghini collection, the Duffys, the mansion, all right, give us the ability to have a division for every item we want. Because they have this loan to value problem. And I don't have that. Neither should you. As we break it down, let's understand, I broke the record for the highest kick on the planet, fastest kick too in 1981. I just wanted to prove why men do jump and stupid people say we don't. Race boats in the backyard. My question would be, where do you park yours? That's a division of a corporation. All right, how about the helicopter? How about the U-Dog? How about the yacht? How about the Ferrari? See, I've already obtained these things, and I've been retired somewhat. They call retired, but again, I don't at my time for the last 30 years. So we get to play. See, Ray's rules work if you follow the rules. But if you don't follow the rules, guess what you did? You kind of screwed up. The bottom line is we can rebuild you too. When you screw up, it should never be you. It should be a division of you. But what can I say? You never heard this stuff before you met me anyway. The ultimate goal is see it, believe it, go get it. See, those credit repair companies are fraud. Now you need to write down Section 611 to figure out what you can do for yourself. It's like the credit repair companies. Everybody thinks they have a magic friggin' wand. It doesn't work. And what happens? They write stupid letters to your credit bureau trying to check your credit, and then your score drops. I thought your goal was a 750. What happened to that? See, you think one thing about collection agencies and all the debt you might have. All right, credit repair cannot remove your debt. This is where you have to man up and woman up and be responsible for your debt. If not, you'll have a flat tire, you run out of gas, something will happen. See, you create your own karma. If you truly want literally a 750 score, you take any open collection account, you negotiate. You take anything from 25, 29% revolving cards, all of them but two, and you do a rapid refresh. What does that do for you? Simple. It gives you a 750 score. So if you want to be a good CFO to the corporate divisions, you can. By the way, it's called the KISS method. It's called keep it simple, stupid. Reality is we're not stupid, but sometimes some people do some stupid things. So I got classes on Wednesday and Saturday, all Saturday. I have 10 classes every Saturday. So as long as you're part of the program and you listen to rules and tools and follow along, you can get some goodies too. Bottom line, annualcreditreport.com. Free reports. And then we go after that too. The next thing, step number 2, is allow me to analyze your credit and tell you exactly what you need to do. Because if you don't follow through, you can't blame anybody else but yourself. You see, everyone's entitled to a 750 score in Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. As we play, I need you to get out your Social Security card. Here, I want to show you exactly where you kind of messed up. The application for Social Security card here, all right, if mommy did it, it's because Nixon already took the gold standard out. If you did it before that happened, then you had to go when you're 14 to 16 and go get your SSN. By the way, once again, that was for basically tax return purposes. 70s and 80s, no one ever used their SSN for credit purposes. Some silly, stupid person did that, and ducks follow along like sheep. Let's look at line 1. Name to be shown on card. You see that? How about full name at birth other than above? Other names to use. So the SSN was for the 1040 tax return. That's all it was for. So if we read the card in your personal wallet today and pay attention and read it in detail on both sides, or you'll notice it says do not laminate, don't carry with you, and don't use for ID purposes. But you did it anyway. See, the reality is you got to understand the rules and tools, and you've been falling like sheep, and that's got to stop. But this also says property of social administration, not you. Reality is IRS. So if we look at the SSN, that's the 1040 tax return. Ultimate goal. So basically, that's basically what we're going to look at today too. As we break this down, years ago when you got your first paycheck, I'll bet you at your first job you thought you were ripped off when you looked at your check. Because the reality is someone had to point out to you, the IRS gets their cut, you get the leftover. See, that's what makes us sheep and ducks. And when you don't understand the rules and tools, you always screw up and blame everybody else besides yourself. So let's understand today, please. It's called the 14th Amendment of the Constitution, the thing you didn't pay attention to. We, the people, in the 14th Amendment of the Constitution says a corporation is a legal person. That allows SS4. That's the ultimate goal. So if we listen carefully today, irs.gov, very simple. What it's going to do is allow one tax return for SSN SS4. It's called an S Corp, single filing. What does that do? Usually you don't have to pay almost no tax at all. And that's what you do to start to become the rich and famous people do too. But again, we only get one SSN. And 9 out of 10 people screw that up every day. Corporation gets an SS4, but they have to file an 1120. And then the corporation is a duck. You see, here's the thing. I love corporations, but you see it on the Secretary of State. The corporation's there, your officer's list there, you probably use your home address and all that silly, stupid stuff. When they sue it, they sue you, you're still a duck. Now, if you take the division process that I developed in 85 and 86, you create divisions. Each tax ID gets credit report. Now you're creating the line of defense, the ability to make sure you become a certified CFO, and you never bring the pain home, and you become a program yourself into millionaire. See, SSN is sheep, SS4 is flying eagle. So if I can rebuild you and you listen and learn, and you become a CFO for the corporation and the division, the next thing is the SS4. So the SS4 allows literally to get a tax ID. In other words, you could actually have a CFO of you as an SSN and an SS4. But again, you got to choose wisely and understand how to play. The ultimate goal is knowledge is key, but most people say they have the knowledge and fully you know what. Reality is very simple today. Putting your ducks in a row gives you, in other words, another chance anything screws up. And it's a corporate umbrella. Pretty simple to do. So if we play the game and look at that application again, that's SSN equals 1040 tax return. And in the corner, it hides it, so I have to blow it up for you. It says SS5. By the way, that's IRS. Now let's compare it to the SS4. So let's understand exactly where you kind of messed up before. Line 1 right there, it says legal name of entity or individual person. So this means very simple that a corporation can have a division or subsidiary. Your banks and grocery stores and cities have subsidiaries and they have branch numbers. So they bankrupt a piece and get a tax credit. If we pay attention when it says legal name of entity or individual person, we could actually get both. And we should have both because that puts your name on line 1. If we play the game correctly, we can become a certified CFO. Now we take the form and we dissect it a little more. Line 9 right there in front of you, it literally says banking and credit purposes. The only form on planet Earth that allows one per entity is an SS4, the ability to have a second chance. So a corporation, as far as I'm concerned, should only do 4 things. Buffer tax means receives money, pays no tax, so it's profitable. Corporate credit cards are a write-off. Interest rate and credit card and line of credit. Anything above 10,000 doesn't show up on personal report anyway. Then we get a card fleet price and get the free buffet at the hotel. That's all the corporation should do. Now the line of defense is a division. See, for me, if a division, like when I did the largest donut chain in the world, satellite television, and the printing companies and everything I did, each location was a division. If it didn't make it, I can disconnect, isolate, incorporate, and I give her the bad piece without destroying everything I'm trying to do in the corporate and other pieces and my family. So the ultimate goal, that's called a line of defense. Now they're cheap. Multiple functions. That means when I own that shopping center and I had the 31 flavor, the donut store, the Shakey's, the satellite store, they're all entities. And so was the building too. You don't know who's going to slip and fall and try to sue you and kind of screw you up. So again, buy at wholesale price up to 70% discount. Next, you get multiple credit reports. And if we did real estate, flippity dippity doos, we can separate liability. So always focus in your brain that you want a division for the line of defense. Now watch again. This means every tax ID, debt follows tax ID. The next thing is we can build it up and away. But every tax ID allows a cash report. That's the goal. To have the money to finance the business. How the hell am I going to get the money? I got no mommy, daddy, and you have a freaking trash can at 3. Who's going to give me money? I build credit. Credit solved the problem, personal and business. So guarantee, no problem. I'll guarantee what I say I can do 100%. As long as you go to class, you follow through, and you don't break the rules. You break the rules, I'm going to throw you out of the program or charge you more. Especially if you crash my wrap or rescore. I paid for the first one. Hell, I'll be down if I pay the second one. So violation, do not violate my program. Okay? Because that means I basically have to charge you a fee, all right, penalty, or I just throw you out of the program. See, you got to be responsible for your silliness or your stupidity. If you screw up, own it. Man up and woman up. Don't blame somebody else. So the ultimate goal is like, you got debt, negotiate the damn debt. From there, it's simple: past, present, future. You can't let your past chase your future. The bottom line is, if you don't do SS4, you're going to be a duck the rest of your life anyway. SS4, IRS.gov. You can get one of those forms today, and also 656 433A and B as we play the game, step number 3. So let's understand today. When I rebuild you, I'm going to do a rapid rescore and a rapid refresh. I created those 39 years ago, all right, when I was working with Harold Stokes and Ken Yarborough. 750, not hard to do, but the bottom line is you have to balance the debt. You have to be part of the program, and then I get to repackage you. The ultimate goal, once again, to get a 750. Negotiate open collection account. All cards but 2 are revolving cards, 25, 29%. And on top of that, rapid refresh, you have a 750 now. What do you do next? Very simple. All right, you guarantee credit for the corp or the divisions, and you're just the CFO. As you do this, in the beginning, you have to be you, and then the division also, you create a view, could be you as well. But again, you got to start somewhere. That's called the KISS method, by the way. Which KISS always stood for keep it simple. All right, stupid. 750. So this means if you allow me to rebuild your credit, rapid refresh, you go to class on Saturday, and I have 10 classes on Saturday, have those for 45 years. You get and focus on the 750. We usually charge you $999, and I get you a $1,000 card back to you. That way you reimburse yourself. During a broadcast, I tend to discount that, and the discount is half price, so it's $499. The goal is you scan, you pay a little fee, or you Zelle. The ultimate goal is simple. It's 90 days I'm your coach, but I'm hoping you want to be the CFO for a corporation, build millions of dollars too. And the card I get you is $500 to reimburse you 100%. And there's your Zelle, Ray Reynolds recipient, Ray at rayscredit.com. You see, here's the thing. You can call 800-510-3338, talk to paralegals or in accounting and say you saw Ray on the webinar. Reality is they're going to give you the normal price, not the discounted price. So when you do referrals to me, if you want to, what we'll do is we'll build you more credit for the referral fee. If they pay in full, because they have to, we don't take payments on referrals. Okay, if you want a commission. Reality is we'll pay you up to 10%. That's the ultimate goal. We can sell that to you today, and we do have people make up to $1,000 a day. So now here's something I need you to do for yourself. I need you to write down the phone number, 888-567-8688. See, you added yourself to the national mailing list. That's how you get robocalls and junk mail. You're a voter, corporation, cable bill, doesn't matter. Opt out for 5 years, please. That would be the ultimate goal. Next, we have to plan the problem. See, the biggest problem most of you have is you allowed a friend and family member to rip you off. And then you spent thousands on crap didn't work. That's okay. We can get you rebuilt anyway. But again, safety credit, sticky on the card, limit always, all right, and 25% maintain, never past 29%. Once again, that's your line of defense. All dashboards say 0 to 29, the way I designed it years ago. 30 is yellow, 50 is red. The discipline is that sticky. And then from there, understand how to play step number 5. Now understand, you're always going to say, I have an emergency. Then use the right darn card. When you use the wrong card, you screwed up. So let's understand something today. Our lives are a roller coaster of faith and persistence. When you jack up the wrong cards, you can't write up diddly squat. You jacked it up and you drop your score, you can't get any more. And you have to understand, you did it to yourself. You're responsible for you. Now, you understand as we rebuild you, it's like not going like this, I'm going to crash. No. If you plan the problem and you do exactly what I tell you to do, you will find out that the gold and platinum cards, all right, do not report the way that normal cards do. In other words, all cards use the 29% rule. These two are like house and car. As long as you maintain it, they never bring your score up and down. And what happens very simple for you, literally, you can max it out to $1 million as long as you maintain the payment. So understand today, rules and tools. You lose your job, have an emergency, what do? Everybody seems to do the same silly thing. They run out of time, they run out of money, then they go jack up their credit cards and get stuck. I don't understand stupid, to be honest with you. There's no reason to do that. It's kind of like the average person saying, hey, I need money. I need $5,000 today. Go ask your friends and your family in the bank. They're all going to tell you no. See, what happens is, I even see in the office, every other day, the people here, they waste anywhere from $20 to $30 to $50 every other day. It's like they just kind of piss it away. But if I take a $50,000 card and I take a $5,000 card, look at the two. This $5,000 card today, if I max it out as safety, because I needed to, the payment is $50 a month. Now, if I look at the $50,000, because why? Because the average person wastes 140 a week, that's $600 a month. If I take 50,000 off of a corporate credit card, I get to write off the interest rate in the credit card, which usually didn't show a person credit anyway. And then the payment is 612.26. So what the average person wastes and kind of pisses away in a given month, even during a pandemic, I can buy two pizza restaurants with a drive-through, because that's what stayed open during pandemic. So as we play the game, reaching the goal, you have to believe in you. Me, I believe in God, and I believe in me. I was kicking the George M at 10, and then basketball hoop too. White men do jump, and just stupid people say we don't. So as we do this today, let's remember when Nixon took the gold standard out. It changed the world a lot, but no one seemed to pay attention besides me. Let's write down Ray's rules one more time. Let's write down a couple cards for 100,000, 50 each. If we use the 29% rule, you'll be maintaining your 750 score, if not to an 800 safety credit. But if you use this to start a business, I'm sorry, that's called stupidity. Because when you drop your score, you can't get any more and you're stuck. And you can write off daily squat. When we use corporate credit, we're allowed to write off the interest rate in the credit card. When we win, we absorb the taxation. When we lose, we get rid of a division. We don't screw up the corporate or family. That would be stupid if we did. And that's why I wrote the rules and tools, and I kept a promise to myself that if I could basically make sure I don't bring the pain home, I could have a family. See, I think you ought to understand, have your cake and eat it too. Ray's rules, step number 7 today. Become a certified CFO, never bring the pain home. But that's up to you. I'm online 6 days a week to hold your hand step by step and all through Saturday. There I am, dead. The hospital even took a picture. There's the address to prove that there's the yachts in the backyard too. You see, I've been in 2 comas in my life. One, I was crippled. Then Jesus said, get up. And the last one, I got to die and come back and help you. So remember, the devil trying to hold us down and keep us down and hold us back. But God's delays aren't God's denials. The ultimate goal, we get to do this too. So understand. Now let's focus. Here's a corporation. This is chapter 18. And what we're going to focus on exactly what it says in this public record. A corporation is a legal person. You see that? May sue or be sued. You got it? So as we played the game, I learned that at 7.5 when I was being used and abused by Mrs. Hope and her son David, and then dropping me off the pier every day. So I paid attention to their silly poker game. The rich and famous people said, basically, a corporation is a legal person. I wrote it down. They told me it was weird, probably true. Went down to the Torrance Police Department the next day. Library next door. I said, ma'am, what does this mean? She was rude, walked away, didn't think she was coming back. Came back, she slammed down a book on the counter, said, here's a microphone, here's a book. She was a bitch. She's the librarian. I guess I was wasting her time. She thought at 7 years old I was stupid. I have an IQ of 203 and total recall. The only thing I met, that lady that day was stupid. Sorry, it's just true. So I went back for 2 years in the library, and I created my own blueprints because they don't exist. See, you're looking for someone to help you, guide you, but you got to do what you're told to do, and you're looking for your blueprint. By the way, I'm your blueprint, if you pay attention, because I sent away my money order, Secretary of State, when I was 9.5, and I came back with Helping Hand Industries. I got 100,000 credit cards in the mail. I got named in the movie Dave. You see, you got no choices. You got a choice. Stay a sheep all your life or do what I say, because you can't find what I teach and preach anywhere on the planet besides through me. It's very simple. I like tax ID. Here's a corp getting credit. We get to write it off. Interest rate and credit card line of credit too. And so do the divisions. I like division process. I built $1 million credit for my cat when I was at the Bonaventure. Lincoln Magazine came to talk to me too, and I said, use plastic to finance your business. And then the next release, guess what it said on the front cover? See, I'd like you to get out your magic wand today. I'd like you to think about having 9 divisions of you, the way I designed in 85 and 86. So let's understand. Here's a corporate umbrella. Each entity should have a different function, and we should have 2 per entity. And I'll show you exactly why. So when I get a tax ID, that allows me in the dashboards to set up credit reports. Now, these are credit reports of Experian, Trendro, and Equifax through tax ID. From there, this is cash credit, which you will write off, and I line you up for checkbook money. Checkbook money, we'll talk about that as well. So every tax ID is entitled to Experian, Trendro, and Equifax. This is where people screwed up, because this is the way it was in the 70s and 80s. You say $1 million, I'll tell you 9 divisions. You say $5 million, I'll tell you 41, because that's what it's going to take. So if we get you a card, a gold or a platinum card, it's unlimited, $1 million, paid over time limit too. I'm going to ask you if you like 9 more, a pack of 10. From there, each one of these entities can have a piece of property. Each entity can have literally a franchise. You drive through McDonald's is operated and owned by, right? They even file bankruptcy in locations too. But they don't go out of business. They just write it off on their taxes. You see, you have the choice to repackage you. But again, that's up to you. Why I invented division process in 85, 86. So today, even if we get to credit, you don't know what you want to do, loan out money. Simple. I invented Homestead Blocker and Chattel Mortgage too, so you can create cash flow. And understand it's in page 16, 45 years ago in my book. Cash flow for you per time. Seems like some turd stole that too. Reality is simple. This will increase your income or enhance it or replace it. If you say you want 5 million, here's my matrix of 4.6. It brought in 190,000 a month, but it did take 41 divisions. You see, division process makes sense. I like goodies. You like goodies? They're all divisions, by the way. Who's going to guarantee? When we go to the love ride too. Ultimate goal, I like more goodies. See, your choice is to understand, and I'll show you exactly the goodies so you know I'm not full of, you know what most people are. You see the corporate umbrella? That's putting your ducks in a row. Why I invented division is simple. I never wanted to bring the pain home. And if I did, I had a problem, I have a second chance to dance. Everyone should have 3 to 6 to 9 divisions. Understand, my dashboard allows me to build them for person, corporation, division, even a subsidiary. You see, your goal is simple today. Every tax ID will build credit to finance that American dream. And you can literally become that person of millions and millions if you want to be. See, again, who guarantees the car? Is it USSN or SS4? Who guarantees the building? Once again, answer the question. And what name is it going to be in? If you receive more money than your break-even point, why would you not want to receive in the SS4? And when you get credit, learn the daisy chaining, like I basically invented it years ago too. 113 ways to do that. So what do we get to do? All right, now during the program, I'm going to offer something you can sell to. So remember something. Each item you get has to be, I'm going to tell you, it has to be in a division name, but that's up to you. Who's going to guarantee SSN, SS4? In the beginning, you have to be SSN. As we build up on a way, you can replace yourself as the SS4. But again, that's basically putting your ducks in a row. Something screws up, you're not the duck anymore. Corporate umbrella. And then we're going to build up to $1 million of credit. The ultimate goal. So your goal is up to you. As we do this, remember, every division I set up, I get tax ID for you, I do the paperwork for you. Okay, I add 2,000 of history, so it starts the credit files, Experian, Trendro, and Equifax. The office sells each division for 1,000 each, 3 for 3,000. Me, I always give a discount. So let's understand something today. This is the corporate umbrella for the item, and this will be for the actual guarantor as we build you up and away. Again, today, all right, if you want today, each division of you or a division to do business Each one is $500 each, or 3 for $1,500. Ultimate goal. That's kind of up to you. As you structure this, I want to repackage you. You have to make a decision because you probably have a corp or you don't. And the ultimate goal is to repackage you 100%. And there's Zelle information for you too. Again, if it's not Zelle during the broadcast, you don't get the discount. The reps aren't going to give you the discount that I can give you. From here, I would think you'd want $1 million of credit cards, up to $5 million of checkbook money. I think that should be your goal starting today, but it'll be up to you. Now, I got 8 specialty classes that are part of the 10 on Saturday. All right, and they start at 8 o'clock in the morning. This Saturday, it's division and subdivisions. Okay, it is 8 o'clock this Saturday coming up. From there, each class, all right, if you want to do 90 days of specialties, it's $9.99. If not, it's $4.99 per class. Simple. It is a Zelle too. As we structure, let's remember, all cash applications require a certified CFO, period. So again, who's going to be the certified CFO? Currently it's you, but then eventually I hope you have a division of you too. But again, it's up to you. And I will always tell you, the 2 perfect cards on the planet, they do not use the 29% rule, neither do checkbook money. The bottom line is you can max them out $1 million as long as you maintain the payment. When I build them up, I charge you $9.99 for each card. The ultimate goal. As we play, there's your Zelle for that as well, if you want to do that. But let's understand, you start a business today, you use your personal credit. I'm going to call that silly and dumb. You jacked it up, you dropped your score, you got stuck, couldn't get any more, and you couldn't run out diddly squat. When you use corporate credit cards, it can finance itself because borrow money is not taxable. That means if we win, we absorb the taxation. Usually, if we lose, we get rid of a division, never the corp, and not my family. Why would anybody want to be a duck? When you retire, understand something today, your bills never go away. So you might consider understanding, have your cake and eat it too, raise rules starting today. Remember, we put one hand out, SSN, tax, and probate too. Other hand says SS4. All right, no taxes due till unprofitable, IRS rules, public record, and I can go irs.gov today, and I can look at a 1244 and file an S corporation and basically never pay any tax, almost no tax ever again. Sign me up for that too. You see, it's kind of like you today. If I wrote you a check for $1 million, where are you going to write the check to? You're going to deposit your personal account. I just call that stupid. See, you only get to keep $375. I would have told you put it in corporation. Pay all the bills first and pay the tax on the leftover. See, that's how you repackage money. But again, that's up to you. You can win the battle if you want to. All right, step number 8. Now, as we play, remember the United States of America Incorporated. They set up 50 corporations. They're called states. Oh, the states that are corporations too. They're called cities. You see, they planted the problem in your face, and you didn't pay attention. They even created a Chapter 9 bankruptcy under the Federal Protection Act so they can bankrupt the debt and stay in business. Reality is going to be up to you. You could have done this since day one, but you like bringing the pain home, I guess. You got to learn to play. Step number 9 today. Why don't you look at bankruptcy? Because it says SSN, SS4. Who will be the duck the next time the roller coaster of faith and persistence kicks your ass at? You or the corporate division or subsidiary. You got choices today. So let's understand something today. What do the most people do when they don't understand the play? They screwed up. The biggest mistake is SSN, SS4. Bottom line, it's the truth. It'll set you free. But you got to learn how to play. There's no reason you ever had to bring the pain home and jack yourself up again and again. That roller coaster is a little tiring, don't you think? So if you choose today, and we understand the United States of America Incorporated and the states and the cities, they're doing this in front of you. And they even created the Chapter 9 bankruptcy because we, the people. The Supreme Court will tell you every day a corporation's a legal person. You don't have to bring the pain home. You never had to. So if I add you to my credit system, I can build you up to $1 million, but you got to follow the rules and tools. You screw up, own it. It's all on you. But again, if you don't go to class and learn the rules and tools, sorry, you're not going to make it. That's how it works. So as you do this today, let's remember, If you have a corporation before you met me, you probably spent thousands to an attorney, CPA, and corporate service. Sorry, you didn't learn diddly squat. So if you do it my way, because guess what? I found out corporations were free at 9.5 years old. You pay a little filing fee. California currently has waived the fee till June of this year. You don't have to be a sheep or a duck. Now let's show you a basic package. This is a starter package for basic beginners. Someone who doesn't have the guts to go get it. That's what I call it. All right, rebuild the credit rapid score. They have the articles, great. Then I won't give them to you for free. If you don't, I give you articles, also tax ID for free. Level 1 in setup is every Wednesday and Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. National average for a court by itself is 3,000 for some reason. From here, I'm going to give you 5,000 in credit back to you. It's very simple. Now, during the program, because that's basically 2.5 times your money, during this broadcast, I discount it in half price. So this means very simple. All right, I'll discount it to $9.99 because that's what the average person wastes in a given month. So I can rebuild their life for what they've been kind of pissing away. Now, 5,000 is 5 times their money back. They scan, they pay a little fee, or they sell. And during that, I'm your coach for 90 days, personally, always live. So again, the discounts during the broadcast only. The $5,000 is the million in the making. But that's 25,000 of credit. That's 5 times your money back. But then even I discount that to $24.99. So it gives you 10 times your money back. It's better than being in Vegas. And your life's been rebuilt as long as you follow the rules and tools. Once again, the goal is very simple today. Run your life, beat your doubt, kind of let you get out of my way while I rebuild you, please. I like goodies. It's called Getting Past Go. I like the goodies. They're divisions of corporations and the mansions in the harbor, the yachts and race boats. I said the Ray Reynolds University.com. And we look at the helicopters, the Lamborghinis, and the buildings too. Now I'd like you to change your driver's license to a P.O. box, a mail-in address for more privacy, but it's up to you. I'd like you to look at the car you drive today, the one that you allowed them to treat you like sheep and ducks. You stood there in that dealership for 5 hours being sweated like a sheep and a duck. And then you lost 5,009 inquiries. If you would have gave them that piece of paper, which you did, and wrote on it, allowed one inquiry, and took a picture, you would have set the tone. But again, this is your problem. All right, you like falling like sheep, I guess. The goal is let's repackage you. Stop being a sheep, quit bringing the pain home. But again, it's like anything else today. The car you drive today, sorry, it should have been Fleet Price Tax ID Division. It should be basically, don't even have to show up on reports or gap insurance. It's a corporate car. Now you become a certified CFO. Lose the car because you signed for it. The creditor is going to give you a 1099-C through the IRS. They're going to kick your assets again. You didn't plan the problem. The registered owner of a car should be a division. In case there's a bumpity bump, they get diddly squat, they try to sue. That's the ultimate goal, planning the problem and stop bringing the pain home. That's step 14. So it's like every property you ever get. If you're going to be serious to go get it, every property should be a division. You don't know who's going to slip, fall, and sue you and screw you up. Your paycheck should be offset by your house payment. From there, Amazon did not pay tax on that first 10 billion to trillion. Why would they? They know how to play the game. There's no loopholes. They're doing what they're allowed to do. He bought Twitter with the line of credit in 24 hours. He has a spaceship. He's the richest guy on the planet. But the other two guys have spaceships too. So the ultimate goal is, what do you want to do? You could join the club, learn to win the battle if you follow the rules and tools. When you screw them up, own it. From there, Carl here, he brings in $500 million a year, doesn't pay state or federal tax because he has a line of credit at Bank of America for $1.2 billion. As long as the credit is above what you bring in, which it always is, there's no taxation. Walt Disney had to pay tax on $1 billion, but they decided not to. In Newsweek, this says duck taxes. They wrote an IOU to themselves and offset the taxes. Borrow money is not taxable. Leveraging money into more money. So again, you can call 800-510-3338, talk to Santos, our floor manager, okay, or paralegals or accounting, say you saw Ray on the webinar, but again, they probably will not honor the same price. Run your life through a corporation or conjunction. That's what I would tell you to do. Now, the next thing is pay tax or buy a Lamborghini. See, you take your taxable paycheck income, called taxable income, right? You paid the car payment, gas registration, insurance after the fact. You'll know, drive a company car like I do, and write it all off too. Step 17. Now let's look at the SS4 form. Today, you can go get one in irs.gov, download it, SS4, and look at it. It says, I'm going to tell you the truth, banking and credit purposes. Right there. It's public record, and it'll tell you the truth. It'll set you free. You don't have to be a duck. You never had to be a duck. So when they sue you, you have to duck. See, it's like Mama here who delivered a baby at the hospital. Ever since Nixon took the gold standard out, she has to sign for the SS4 and the SSN. She doesn't know why, but she has to. She's told to, so she follows like sheep. See, everything is rules and tools. You buy a house, it's escrow, close, homestead, trust. You have a house that's not in a trust, that's called dumb. They sue you, they take it away. When you die, it's stuck into probate. Your family got diddly squat. You fix up a property, you hire the contractor. Who hires the subcontractor that stands at Home Depot? And because they slip, fall, and cut corners, they're going to sue you and take everything you got. But if you plan the problem and do it my way, they're going to get diddly squat if they try to sue. But that's up to you. Why don't you look up irrevocable trust today? But again, you're a grown-up. Do what you want to do. That's step 19. 6 more to go. The ultimate goal is very simple to do. I get people every day, I don't pay tax rate. I always ask them a question. You want to go to prison like Wesley Snipes did for 5 years and screw that up too? He screwed up his whole life. So you can't play peekaboo with their IRS making a mess. If you tried it, irs.gov, you download a form called 656, 433A and B, you get your butt back in the system, and you become a certified CFO. The ultimate goal, step number 20. See, your ultimate thing, you should think about being an OPM. Save up to 70%. You don't pay a bill up to 90 days. From there, you get an escrow close, you got 200,000 to do. Don't do what most people do and kind of act like they're rich and piss it away. They're broke the next day. We're going to use Ray's way. We're going to use Ray's rules. We're going to leverage it to $15 million. And then borrow money is not taxable. We're going to set that line of defense. Oh, by the way, that's step 21 called blackjack. See, you got choices today to learn how to play. It's like the Ray Reynolds University location here. One technology drive, Irvine Spectrum. Simple, doing up to $1 million a day in 2009. But I got to die and come back, try to help you, and someone stole my life. What am I going to do? Go boo-hoo-hoo? I built more than $1 million in 6 weeks. See, I have closet divisions and divisions of me as a backup because I'm not going back to the pier eating out of a friggin' trash can. All right, you got choices to repackage you. See it, believe it, go get it. So I use my closet divisions under the corporate umbrella. Shouldn't you have a couple of those too? But that's up to you if you want to zell today. As we play 1,000 steps to millionaire, that's the goal, to be a certified CFO, repackaging every one of you. I like checkbook money. The banks love to give checkbook money up to $150, no tax return. So again, if you don't have a 2-year corp, I set up some extra ones last year. The office will sell you one for $4,000. Me, I try to give you a discount during the broadcast only. I'll put 10,000 of history to it. If you sell profit or non-profit, you pick what you got. From there, it's $19.99 with the credit or $9.99 without the credit, long as it was Zelle during the broadcast. If not, it goes back to the normal price. I pay the people in the office a commission. So the ultimate goal, there's your Zelle. From there, a corporation's a legal what? And we have the divisions and the corporation getting credit too. And I can build a corporate umbrella. And I have the ability not to bring the pain home. And every tax ID gives me credit reports. The Spirit and Treasury and Equifax. 9 divisions give me up to $1 million of credit. All right, 41 divisions up to $5 million. I think I can finance an American dream and put my ducks in a row. What do you think today? But again, you have to understand why I created it. Because I don't want to bring the pain home. In case I have a screw up or a problem, I get a second chance. I want to always have a dance. So again, I'll build one for personal, corporation, all right, division, or subsidiary. Again, debt follows tax ID and bills credit reports. So a division of me would make sense. What do you think? Who's going to guarantee the goodies and receive money in daisy chain credit? I'm hoping you understand by now. It's a Zelle during the broadcast only. You're going to need 2 per entity, 1 for the item, 1 to be the CFO in the near future. Again, the goal is, all right, never to have something, if it goes wrong, you to be the duck. Corporate umbrella. That's the goal in building more credit up to $1 million. There's nothing wrong with building the credit as long as you start a business and you pay it back. Just don't have the intent to do fraud. Again, tax ID, 2000 of history. It's very simple. And I set up the credit reports. They're $1,000 each at the office, 3 for 3,000. And now the corporate umbrella for the item, and then the credit. From there, I give them away at 500 each. So you pick if you want one for doing the business or a CFO or both. $500 each, 3 for 1,500. Or if you want the 6, which is a good combo, that's $3,000. It's a Zelle, and always put RW when you Zelle. As you do this, what are you willing to lose? Family? No. Corp, they sue you? What about a division? If we play chess today, would we lose pieces on both sides? Yes. But at the end of the day, my way, we both get checkmate. I like checkmate, don't you? So the goal, stop bringing the pain home. Again, it's very simple today. Let's understand. If you give referrals, I'll give you money and build you credit. They have to pay in full as a referral. And then if you want, I'll sell you back 10% too, up to $1,000 a day. See, reaching the dream. Think to be the impossible. I've done it all my life. Ray's rules, very simple. All right. I like helping people become millionaire corporations, corp and divisions, and learn to be a certified CFO. Very simple to do. And see, it's like the credit lines. If you want one, we charge 10%, but that's a credit, cash. And we'll build the credit cards first, then we'll talk about checkbook money. Let me basically help you, add you to my system. What I get to do, show you some goodies that I obtain. Then I show you how to get your goodies too. But I analyze your credit. Within 90 working days, you could have a 750 as long as you don't screw it up. Experian, Equifax, TransUnion. As we play, here's my schedule, 6 days a week. Currently, this is my last and final year of the 6 days a week. So for 45 years, I've done this straight. So again, all right, if you want to be a corporate millionaire, let's do it this year. If you didn't go to my 3-day event, it was called Setting the Tone. That was my last and final boot camp. You missed out, sorry to say. Ultimate goal. There's a part 2, which is the Ray Reynolds Millionaire member for 6 months. All right, there's only one left. All right, that's it. After that, this will be off the table. From there, we get an interview up to an hour. We go over all your past, present, future, and your goodies. From there, for 6 months, we have a team meeting. All right, basically all 25 people in a group. That fee's been waived too. And then level 1, 2, and 3 in specialty classes, that fee has been waived as well. And then we're going to give you as a bonus 50,000 of credit, which normally we charge 5,000 for that. But the bottom line is that fee's been waived. So today, the last and final one, getting 20,000 of bonuses, is $5,000. All right, it is a Zelle wire deposit. There's no payment to it. It's pay full, or you just have to go away. All right, it's a Zelle bank transfer deposit. So as we basically do this, never basically have joint credit. You buy a house, it's escrow, closed, homestead, trust. Corporation, just a piece of paper. I don't understand why people spend thousands for something that's free, just a little filing fee. Corporation should always have divisions for real estate, franchise, current business, and the line of defense. Ray's rules are simple. I give bonus cash credit so you can finance the business, not screw it up, and take away your excuses and write it all off. And get the American dream, step 24. As we do this today, that 750 is waiting for you. But again, we're going to rebuild the credit, rapid rescore. We're going to put you in class on Saturday. All right, going after the 750. And what happens is it's $9.99 normally. That's what the office charges. All right, and you get a $1,000 card back. I discount to $4.99 during the broadcast. And then the card becomes $500. You can scan, pay a fee, or you can sell. But again, you have to follow the rules. If you don't and you screw it up, that's on you. Ultimate goal, starter package, rebuild the credit, rapid score. Articles also is tax ID free if you don't have them. Setup level 1, 5,000 of credit, and I even discount this to $9.99. 5 times your money back, and you can scan, pay a fee, or you can Zelle today, and you're your coach for 90 days. Pretty simple to do. Millionaire in the making, 5,000. Normally you get 25,000 of credit, 5 times your money back. Discount during broadcast to $24.99. You scan, you pay now. Reality is, as you pay a little fee or use Zelle. I'm your coach either way for 90 days. And the ultimate goal, there's your Zelle RW. When you Zelle for what you Zelle for, bank transfer, deposit, or wire. Every one of you should be and could be a corporate millionaire. But again, who has to follow the rules and tools? You. All right. Without the rules and tools, you're going to keep screwing it up. It's not going to work. So again, understand your banks and your grocery stores use subsidiaries, but do this right in your face. And when they get rid of a bad location, they've done thousands, they get a tax credit for shutting it down, keeping the assets. All right. Sam's Club, Geico, cities, doesn't matter because you see it all around you. You can stop bringing the pain home starting today. You can become a certified CFO and reprogram your brain into millionaire status. You can start looking behind the curtain as well, and we can stay safe and strong, do our best as Jesus does the rest. Amen to that too. So at the end of the day, if you want to call the office at 800-510-3338, 3338, and say, I just saw Ray on a webinar, they'll give you the best deal they can give you. It's very simple. From there, that's step 25 today. So we have to do a couple things. Number one, we have to do our best. God does the rest. Amen to that too. And we never forget at the end of the day, God loves us all.